So here we go. This is 2 examples of 2 cubic graph exam questions. So pause the video and give it a go if you think you know what you're doing, or I'm just going to go through it step by step now. So without a calculator, always start with the positive numbers because it's easier. So I'm just going to start with x equals 0. So if I substitute it into the formula y equals x cubed plus 2x squared minus 1. Now it's important to remember the rules of BIDMAS to get this correct, because this is where you can go wrong with this. So I'm going to place the 0 in, 0 cubed plus, that's going to be 2 times 0 squared. BIDMAS means you do that first, and then minus 1. So 0 cubed is 0. Then you've got to do the times first. But 0 squared, 0 times 0 is 0. Times a 2, 2 times anything is 0. So that becomes 0 minus 1. Work that out, and then you might see why I did the table. You do term by term, add each term together, and you will get y equals minus 1. That's minus 1 there. Now try it for x equals 1. So you're going to get y equals 1 cubed plus 1 times 1 squared, because it's the x squared, sorry, it's 2 times 1 squared, minus 1. 1 cubed is 1, plus 1 squared is 1, times 2 is 2, minus 1 equals y. So that equals 3 minus 1, so that's 2. So let's try that for x equals 2. So you remember it's y equals x cubed. So you've got 2 cubed plus 2 times 2 squared minus 1. So 2 cubed is 8. 2 squared is 4. And you're timesing that by 2 minus 1. So you're going to get 8 plus 8 minus 1. So here y equals 15. And I work that out, x equals 2 here. So it's the negative numbers that is going to be your challenge. So let's just do x equals minus 1 now. So remember, you've got y equals x cubed, so that's minus 1 cubed. Remember, on the calculator, just put that minus 1 in the bracket. The calculator will get this correct without the bracket, just because the rules are cubed. Then it's plus 2 times minus 1 squared, and this is where you can make the mistake, minus 1. So remember, any number cubed, if it's positive, it will stay positive, a negative number will stay negative. So that's going to be minus 1. Plus, you've got to realise this minus 1 squared is going to be 1. So that's going to be 2 times 1. Negative times a negative is a positive. Minus 1. So that's going to give us minus 1 plus 2 minus 1. So y is going to equal 0 here. Now am I going to get space? Let's let x equals minus 2 up here. So y equals minus 2 cubed plus 2 times minus 2 squared. I'll just keep that in the bracket, minus 1. So minus 2 cubed, minus 2 times minus 2 times minus 2 is minus 8. But minus 2 squared is going to be 4. So that's going to be plus 2 times 4 minus 1. Now what some people might do is 2 times minus 2, then square it to get 16. But that's not going to be correct. So you're going to get y equals minus 8 plus 8 minus 1. Now you've got to get good with your negative numbers. Minus 8 plus 8 is going to be 0. Minus 1, that's going to be minus 1. Now x equals minus 3. I'm going to do it here. So y equals minus 3 cubed plus 2 times minus 3 squared minus 1. Minus 3 cubed is going to be minus 27. This is going to be 9. So plus 2 times 9 minus 1 which is going to become minus 27 plus 18 minus 1. So that's going to be, if you work that out, y equals minus 10. And that table will get you 2 out of 2 marks. And you just plot that across the hall, up and down the stairs. Look at the scale. It's 1, 2, 2, 15, 0, minus 1, minus 1, 0, minus 2, minus 1, minus 3, minus 10. Now remember, a quadratic with a positive x cube, not a quadratic, a cubic with a positive x cube is this shape, if you remember from the PowerPoint, and a negative x cube, when there's a negative in front of the x cubed, is just going to be the opposite direction, like that. So imagine like a sideways S with it going from left to right going up, and a negative one left to right, it's going down. Just remember, like a positive quadratic is always a U, and a negative one is always going to be an N shape. So look at this shape, that will help you. You can see that's a local maximum. Just join that up, make it smooth, and then it's going to shoot up like so, and that would get you 2 out of 2 marks. Right, this one, so just start with the positive, because you'll get 1 mark for getting 2 out of the 3 terms correct. So when x equals 1, you're going to get 1 cubed plus 3 times 1, so that's going to equal 1 plus 3, so y is equal to 4. Now let's do x equals 2 here. So you've got y equals, I'm just going to write the term again here. So what you're doing is substituting, swapping the 2 for the x. So y equals 2 cubed plus, now that means 3 times x, that's plus 3 times 2. Remember the rules of big maths, so that becomes 8 plus 6. So y equals 14. That's it, that's 1 mark done. Now you could make a mistake on the negatives, so just be careful. So when x equals minus 1, you're going to get minus 1 cubed plus 3 times minus 1. Now let's work this bit out. Y equals minus 1, any number cubed, and if it's negative it's going to stay negative. Plus, what's 3 times negative 1? That's a positive times a negative, so that plus is going to become minus 3. So y equals minus 4 here. Now this is beyond what you need to know right now, but I think you can handle this. And it says on the grid, so that is quite straightforward. Get 2 out of 2 marks, and it's good for your substitution skill. You need to do that, need to know that. So 0, 0. Let's just plot that. 1, 4, plot that. 2, 14. That's got to be halfway between the 12 and the 16. Minus 1, minus 4, minus 2, minus 14. Okay, so you can see it's a positive x cubed. Can you see this term? It's a positive x cubed. There's no minus sign. So all these graphs always are this shape. So just try to fill that in. And that is done, and that will get you 2 out of 2 as well. So that's easy, 4 out of 4 marks. If you can do this, hopefully that's really straightforward for you, and well done if you did that on your own. That practices your negative number skills as well, which is a really important skill, because that is a common misconception. People make mistakes with their negative numbers.